Welcome to the Gatekeeper Show, where us, the Gate Brothers, are going to unleash the gates for you young people watching on how to get rich at a very young age, like we did. This is going to be the first episode of the Gatekeeper Show, where we're going to try to give a view into our mind, into our way we operate, into the way we pursue opportunities and go all in to make money fast. I think it's everybody's dream to become rich at a young age, because no one looks at the 50-year-old retired doctor who's driving a Lambo. Everyone looks at the 21-year-olds that are driving a $200,000 car, a $300,000 car, because they know something that most people don't know. And it's not by following the traditional educational system, it's by doing things completely opposite to what everyone is doing. And we are going to show you how you can do the same thing. We want to talk on the show, we want to talk about anything. We want to talk about money, news, women, cars, travels, and just in general everything that we do, the way we operate. And create some sort of brotherhood, because we also know that many people at home, they don't have that brother to latch on to and work together with, and they're working on their own, and it makes stuff a lot harder. So yeah, Andrew and Tristan set a great example in this, and we want to continue their legacy as a younger pair of brothers, just like Samuel and Roop are doing as well. We're going to continue that route, inspiring the youth to become rich through hard work, dedication, discipline, and unmatched perspicacity.
One of the first things you need to understand that great things won't come by themselves, and you have to sacrifice.
A specific output needs to equal input. So if you want big output, you need to have big input. And you know, if you want to drive a Lambo 24, that requires a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and it's definitely not coming through school or having a degree. Like, impossible to do that through the traditional educational and financial system. You have to find ways to navigate around it, find opportunities that others are missing, and then you can get rich very quickly, just like we did.
And you have to suffer. It's the same as going to the gym. When you go to the gym, it's difficult, it's hard, and you will grow over time. But this is a sign that you are becoming better as a person. The same if you want to learn something. If you go to the library and you're studying some book, you're first not going to understand what you're reading. You're going through the book, you're learning, you need to research and get an understanding of it. But this is a sign of you becoming a better person. It's the same with making money. At the beginning, it's very hard, it's difficult, you're losing money, you're failing, you need to restart every time, you need to get up, fall, get up, fall, get up. Fail 10 times, but the 11th time, maybe you'll succeed. And if you never quit, you will succeed over time. This is just the rule of life.
When trying to succeed in business, you need to get every advantage that you can into your corner. Everything that you can, get it, put it into your advantage and use it. And that's why also we're starting this community of workers, because you can spend together, you can build your advantages together, because alone, you're just alone, and it's very hard to get rich if you're just working as a lone wolf. It's been said countless of times, and I mean, just look at the Tate brothers, just look at Samuel Nua and Roop, look at us. We are blood brothers, but you can find this relationship also just with someone who's not your real brother, but you can form a strong relationship with aligned vision, and it's going to allow you to reach your goals 10 times faster, 100%. One person working alone can do the work of one man, but two persons working together can perform the work of 10 people, because you're working together, you're thinking together on the solutions, and that's really what you need to do if you want to get rich. Getting rich on your own is like one of the hardest things that you'll ever try to do, and I recommend against it. Build up your skills. Maybe you have to do this on your own, but as soon as you're useful enough, you can find other people who are skillful in other fields than you are, team up, and you will be able to achieve the results much faster at a way cheaper rate. And you don't need money. Just as an example, when we started out in trading, we started out with about 15K, lost everything, and we're down to our last few thousand. And from that, we built up an empire and became very, very wealthy. And we're now multi-millionaires living the dream.
One very important thing is you need to have a clear vision and a clear goal from day one. You need to know where you're going. If a boat leaves the haven and it doesn't know its final destination, it will just hover over the sea wondering where to go. But if you have a clear vision and a clear destination where you want to go, and this, if you're a team, this is very important because you need to be working together towards the same direction. If you're on a boat and the left side is rowing backwards and the right side is rowing forward, you're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to be wandering around on the sea, turning around. It's the same with business. You need to have a clear vision and a direction of where you want to go. Not be planning in, let's say, 1 month, 5 months. Really have a vision of where you want to go, where you want to be in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and work towards that.
But the only purpose of that is for you to be able to help in your decision making. It's like if you know where you're going, if you know you want to become or build your personal brand, you know you have to be posting consistently, you know you have to film content, you know you have to invest in your appearance, you know you have to learn how to talk well, which is all stuff we're doing, right? Because one of our goals right now, we have built the millions of dollars. Now we're trying to build up our audience and have an influence, have a positive impact in the world. So now our goals have changed. Your goals can change as well. As soon as you achieve certain goals, then you need to re-evaluate where you're going and adjust your decisions based on that. So yeah, it's very important because many people, they have a dream, they have some desire to achieve certain things, but they're not clear on it. And if you're not clear on something, it's very hard to make a decision on what you have to do. Like, let's say you want a car and you're dreaming about the car, but if you don't even know what car it is, like, how are you going to be able to decide, like, okay, where do I need to go to be able to find the car that I want? Like, you need to be clear on what you want before you even start doing anything. The issue is that a lot of people, they get stuck on the just dreaming and I want this and that, and writing down their goals and doing affirmations, etc. Many people get stuck on that part. Like, I know people personally who have they're very much manifesting and etc. But you cannot get stuck in the part of just dreaming. The most important part is that you start to take action towards your goals, because there's many people who just get stuck in the dreaming part.
And one very important thing, especially when wanting to make money, is that if you're not specifically sure where you want to go, like, try to figure it out, think, be in silence, get bored and think about where you want to go. Don't spend your time scrolling on TikTok, spending your time scrolling on Instagram. Think about where you want to go. And then the most important thing is getting to work, implementing. No bullshit routines, not getting up early, starting to journal, taking ice bath. Just get to work and get the work done.
And the starting years of your business and entrepreneurial journey will be very hard. You will have to sacrifice a lot. Just as an example, both me and my brother, we never finished high school. We have not a single degree, not a single paper that we finished school, anything at all. So obviously that makes it a lot harder to get a job. So you're burning your bridges by doing that as well. And it forces you to really find a way out. And going to have a job for me was never really an option. I've always been a very individual person doing my own stuff. Same goes for my brother. And when I dropped out, I started to do volunteering work. I was cleaning dishes. I was changing bed sheets there's a website called workaway.info. You guys can have a look at it, and on that website you can find locations. Usually it's like either families with kids, or it's like yoga centers where you are required to work 5 days a week, 5 hours a day, and they give you 2 days off a week, and in return you get a room and food. So your expenses are basically zero, and it leaves you with about 40, like, it depends how much you want to work, but it leaves you with quite enough time to still work on your side projects. So I did this for like 1 year on my own, and then my brother joined me for another year. And after those 2 years of basically not earning any money, then our business started to take off. And in a matter of like 6 months, we were earning like 15K a month with our e-commerce business, which is where we started in it. But those first 2 years, it was a big struggle. But we kept our expenses low because that was what was required in order for us to be able to reinvest everything back into the business, experiment, lose money until we find something that works. Once we find something that works, we double down on that, and in a matter of a few months we were earning $15,000 a month in profit. So you have to keep that in mind. When you start, there will be a period where you're not earning money, nothing is working, and you are just running out of ideas to try, but you have to keep trying, you have to keep exploring, you have to keep trying different things, and at one point you will 100% stumble on something that works. And once you find that, you exploit that opportunity until the cow has no milk anymore. That's what you have to do. And it's gonna be hard, but you have to know that everybody who is successful went through that part. You cannot skip that part. If you want to skip the struggles, you're not made for this life. And I recommend you to just stop watching this video, go back to your 9 to 5 and slave away in your 9 to 5 for the rest of your life. Because if you're not prepared to dedicate 2 years to not making money, losing money, being broke, then you are just not cut out for this. You have to be prepared to really fucking struggle hard. Like everyone who is successful and didn't come from money had to go through that. So why do you think you're special and you can skip that part of struggle? You are not special. You are not special. You need to go through that. So be prepared. And those times were really hard. I was cleaning dishes, I was cooking, I was cleaning the houses, I was cleaning bed sheets. We were painting walls, like we were painting houses, and we were not even getting paid. The reason why I chose workaway over a job instead of working a job is because I had a few thousands saved up, which I could explore and like try business with. So I didn't really need any money at the time, but I didn't have money to spend. So I prefer to just do workaway, because if you work a business, it's gonna if you work in a company, it's going to consume a lot of your mental energy. And if you want to do your work well, which I always do, if I would work in any company, I would be the best employee of the whole company, because I take my job very seriously always. And just working in a company, it would drain all my energy, and it wouldn't leave me any time to work on my business on the side. So that's why I preferred to do workaway. And on the side, like, you can also, you're traveling a lot, you're seeing a lot of countries for basically no money. So it gives you a lot of experiences. It allows you to meet people that you otherwise wouldn't meet, and meeting new people is one of the best ways to expand your mindset into new perspectives and to learn how big the world really is. Suddenly you're working at a yoga center and there comes one big Finnish real estate guy. Like, this is a real story. I was working in a yoga center in Valencia, and one guy, his name was Tommy, he came there and he was Finnish. He was like 40 years old, retired, multi-millionaire, and he had basically a similar story. Until his 25, he was dead broke, didn't know what to do. One even he was working in an insurance company or something something like an insurance company, and he had got into an argument with his boss, and he got fired. And he was living in the house of his grandma, drunk, and that exact moment when he hit rock bottom, he decided, like, I need to change my life. And he knew a lot about the constructions companies and the construction business, so he started the first sort of freelancing platform where big corporations and construction companies could place like job offers, and that company that he made, they would go find workforces for those companies. He scaled that company in 10 years to like a $20 million valuation, and then basically exited that company for a $8 million figure, and bought real estate. And at 40 he was retired and was living his life in Valencia, going to yoga centers and, you know, just enjoying his life because he put in the work early. But he also did go through those first few years of struggles where you're not making any money. As long as you stay persistent through those difficult years, you are gonna make it. You're gonna make it. It's impossible to fail if you really dedicate your life towards becoming successful. Because at some point, like, you have to love the game so much that eventually the game starts loving you back. And it's like you have to put in the work until you're due. It's like gambling. If you go to the casino, you lose, and then eventually you win big, right? I don't recommend gambling, but it's similar in a sense that working a real business, obviously you control much more of your luck, and as long as you keep working, eventually the luck will hit, or you will stumble upon something that makes sense and makes you money, and you make all of the losses that you made in the last years, you will make it back, and you will make much more.
And burning your boats is really an important part of this. It can be scary at the beginning, leaving the traditional route, the route that 99% of the people is going, or you could even say 99.9% of the people are going. It's the easy route. It's going the 9 to 5, the steady, the safe, no risks, building up your pension, and the normal route. And if you want to have an exceptional life, you need to do exceptional things, like dropping out, working at places where you're not getting paid, so you have time to work on things that have a bigger potential and a bigger potential outcome. It can be really scary leaving your house, leaving your country, working somewhere you don't know, you don't speak the language. But this is all for a greater purpose, so you can build on a bigger future and have an exceptional life.
Yeah, like you're actually like the more stress you can endure and like experiencing new stuff, dropping out, leaving your parents' house. I haven't been living in my parents' house. I was since I was 11, 12 years old, I left my parents' house and I was living in foster homes. And all those experiences, the more stress you experience in life, we've had so much stressful, like really stressful moments where like $25,000 in debt to the government because we didn't know what taxes were and we didn't pay VAT, so we had to pay back those taxes. And all these kind of the kind of things, like they put stress on you. The more stress you can endure, there's a direct correlation to your stress endurance levels and the success you achieve, because the more money you start making, the bigger businesses you start to take on, the more stress you're going to have, and you have to be able to endure through those big stress moments to be able to make it, because there's 100% going to be moments where you are like, I don't know what the fuck I have to do here, and this might be the end, like I might have to fucking call it quits.
The best thing that can happen to you is honestly going through insane stress at the beginning of your journey, because this will set you up for the rest of the time.
It's like preceptors. It's like, you know, like when you're a junkie and when you're smoking a lot of weed, let's say, then, you know, the more you smoke, if you're smoking every day, suddenly you need more and more to be able to feel something. And stress is in the same way. Like, first, some stressful situation is going to really like stress you out a lot, but then the same situation next year, it will be like, ah, yeah, this already happened. Like, I know it all will turn out well, you know? And so the more stress you endure, the bigger your stress preceptors are, and the bigger your stress, like you're like ambiguous to stress. Yeah.
It's better to go through insane stress at the beginning, because let's say you have a capital of $10,000 and you go to insane stress and you're not able to handle this stress correctly yet because it's your first time. The worst that can happen, you lose $10,000. But let's say another situation, you make $50,000 and then you go through this stress and you never went through this stress before. Then you have the potential of losing $50,000. So it's way better to go through this stress early on than later on when you have much more to lose. At the beginning, when we started e-commerce, we had about $30,000 to start with money we gathered from working in factories, washing dishes, and other stuff. And the first year we lost it all. Even worse, we went into debt, 20,000 euros with the government. Also, our Facebook account got hacked the first time we wanted to start selling in the USA. We bought inventory, we shipped it to the US, our Facebook account got hacked. We were panicking, it was stress, everything was closed down, we had to pay inventory rent in the US, we had stock we had to sell, and we weren't able to sell it because our Facebook account got hacked. This was one of the biggest stress moments up until then in our lives. But we kept grinding, we didn't stop.
This time was really insane. I didn't sleep for like a week straight. And at the time I was doing the workaway thing. I was working at the couple, like an older couple, and I was just working in their garden, planting stuff, cleaning up the garden, etc. And at the time, our Facebook account got hacked. The hackers, I got an email, I remember at like 6 a.m. in the morning, and I saw like, you have been removed as an admin in your business manager account. And I'm like, I called Gabriel immediately. I called him and I said, did you remove me from the Facebook ad account? And he said no. And I'm like, fuck. And I go to the business manager account and I see a ton of Chinese ads, like ads with Chinese text, and I see they're spending like 20,000 a day. Like they had set the budget for each ad set in the Facebook Ads Manager campaign to like 20,000, and they had created like 10 ad sets. And I go check the balance, and I see, like immediately, obviously, when I got that email, I immediately blocked my bank account so they couldn't charge it. And I went to Facebook and I went to the billing page, and I saw that there was $45,000 in payments due. Yeah, that was like insanely stressful. And in order to be able to recover that Facebook business account was very, very hard.
And then later on, we went into crypto and into trading. Now we're able to handle stress a lot better because we went through these difficult times and through these stressful situations. And we learned from them. We didn't quit. We got up and we continued grinding. So going through stress, going through difficult times, not taking the easy route. This is normal if you want to have an exceptional life. You need to go through this. Everyone does. You cannot expect to have an exceptional life and exceptional results if you're not willing to risk everything you have, if you're not willing to go the difficult route.
As they say, risk everything you have to get everything you want. This is a key to you achieving your dream life.
If you want to have the results of the 1%, you have to do the things the 1% is doing. This is taking risk. This is burning your boats, working not 9 to 5, but working 5 to 9. Literally, we would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, work till 9 o'clock in the evening, or even later. And that's the only way you're going to make it.
This is episode 1 of Gatekeepers podcast. This was a little bit of an unorganized episode. We just wanted to unload a little bit of what we are thinking, how we work, what we went through. It's not the full story. Maybe we'll make like an episode going over like the most important and impactful events of our life that led us to where we are right now. And yeah, we're still thinking about the format for these videos, but hopefully this gave you a little bit of insight of where we come from, where we started, and it will allow you to follow our journey as well from here to billions. So we have the goal to buy a Bugatti before we're 30, and I think we're going to be buying it next year. So stay tuned for that. We might be one of the youngest people who will buy a Bugatti in Europe. Obviously, there's people in Dubai who have it, who are younger than us, and people in the USA, but that also makes it less relatable for you guys. We are in Europe. We're in Europe. Andrew and Tristan are in Europe, and there's not that many big, successful young guys that are living in Europe. So we want to change that image as well of Europe, that you can actually become successful by living in Europe. We're living in Bulgaria, one of the poorest countries of the whole of Europe. And the thing is, you're not limited by your geolocation. The business, you can run a business anywhere in the world, living anywhere in the world. The only thing you need is a laptop, a phone, and a good internet connection, and you can make millions from your phone.
And go where you're treated best. In Belgium, we were born and raised in Belgium. They tax us 50% over there. So pretty fast after we were starting to make money, we just moved to Bulgaria. This is one of the countries in Europe with the best tax systems, 10% corporate tax and 10% personal tax, which at the time was perfect for us. So we moved to Bulgaria, and since then we really fell in love with Bulgaria. It's a very nice country. People are still a lot more traditional and not so liberal. They're not thinking in the gay way and transgender gay. Like people are normal over here, and we moved to this place just because this country treats people a lot better than, let's say, Belgium. They punish you for working. They take your money. If you make $100,000, they take $50,000. Not because you were born in a specific country that you need to stay in that country. You can leave to another country where they treat you better, and not necessarily Dubai. You can stay within Europe. You can move to Bulgaria. You can move to Romania or any place you like. Portugal, wherever you want to go.
Yeah, take the leap. It might be scary at the start, but take the leap and meet new people. Get out of your fucking comfort zone.
If you're not used to traveling or living in a different country, well, you'll have to do different things than your parents did. We were born in Belgium, but raised traveling all the time. Since the day we were born, we had lived in more than 10 different houses, just because my father and my mother, they together had a business in which they were making coffee machines, and they were traveling all over the world.
Now we're sounding like rich kids.
Yes, but this doesn't matter. In 2008, the company of my father broke, and since then he had no money basically anymore. But we always lived pretty nomadically, if that's the way I can say it. But we always traveled a lot, so we're used to moving around, and we have no problem with this. And if you're not used to traveling and moving around from place to place, or going to a different country where you're treated better, you just have to take the leap, you have to take the step and take the risk if you want to live an exceptional life. It's really up to you, and you have to dare. You don't have to be a scared bitch to do this.
And yeah, like anyone who thinks that we grew up rich or anything, yes, when we grew up, we really definitely didn't like lack anything. My father had a quite good business, and he was making good money at the start, and he was able to take care of 4 kids. We're a family of 4, and taking care of 4 kids, that's not cheap, like especially if you're moving around, etc. So my father, definitely he was making good money, but as my brother said, in 2008, his company went into bankruptcy and he had to sell the business and basically lost everything he had. And since then, he didn't have he was literally broke, like nothing. Like at one point, we were living at a one-bedroom house, and at the farm with Noel.
Yes, the last 15 years my father has been working as a teacher in schools in Belgium from place to place because he also didn't have a fixed job. He was going from school to school, and he was also getting even he was getting help from the government. He was getting a check every month from the government as support because the financial gains were not enough to sustain our family.
Yeah,
So-
and the house we were living in, it was an old house. I wasn't living in there, but it was my brother and my two sisters were living there, and the house had how do you call it, like mushrooms in all the corners. And in the winter, I remember going there sometimes in the winter, and our father wouldn't even allow us to turn on the heating in the house because he couldn't pay the electricity bill. So it was so cold in the winter, especially upstairs in the room. I couldn't even sleep there because I have some lung issues. I have a little, some sort of asthma, and if I was in that house, which at some point I was visiting them sometimes in the winter, he didn't even allow to turn on the heaters in the room, and it was extremely cold.
Yes, in the winter, the room in which I was sleeping would get down to 8-10 degrees Celsius, which is really, really cold if you think about it. And we would be living there. We never lacked food or anything or clothing, but still, we didn't grow up with money. My father was doing pretty well up until 2008, but from 2008 forth, we grew up pretty humble. So we don't come from money. We made it all ourselves. Our father didn't give us anything, and our goal is to not only make it for ourselves, but also retire our parents. So you need to put in the work, and even though you don't come from money or your parents don't have money, that doesn't really matter. You can make it yourself.
You can be the change. You can be the change. You definitely can.
So yeah, this is
the Gatekeepers podcast, and we hope to inspire you as brothers. And yeah, just show you that what is possible if you find a team to work together with, dedicate yourself, and really be one important thing is that you can trust each other, find the trust, find the people who you can work with. We're hoping to also offer a community where you can find like-minded people to work together with, find opportunities with, and when you find them, just abolish them. So this is the Gatekeepers podcast. We are opening the gates for you to achieve financial freedom at a very young age, and thank you for your attention.
woo! Welcome to the real world.
Woohoo!
Yes.
My unmatched perspicacity coupled with my sheer indefatigability. Bro.
My unmatched perspicacity coupled with my sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in the realm of any human endeavor.
My unmatched perspicacity coupled with my sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in the realm of any human endeavor.
Woo! Welcome to the real world.